Alright, so what we're going to be looking at today is algebra and transformation. So we're going to look on how we can manipulate the coordinates in order to see what happens when you actually do certain transformation. So that means we're not going to be counting on the graph. We're going to use algebra just to get the answers out. Alright? So we're going through this sheet here. I'm going to demonstrate a number of them, and then I'm going to leave you to do 7, 8, and 9. Alright, so let us take a look at the first one. Alright, the first one, if you read what it wants from us, what we're doing here at number 1 is that we're switching our coordinates, x switch with y, and we're changing the y1 at the front, right? We're going to change it. So we're going to do that for all the vertices and then recreate the shape to see what we have. Ready? So one of the first things we want to do is we really want to have our vertices known. We want to write them down so we can see what we have, right? So let's write them down. So W, the vertices for W is -6, -3. So this is -6, -3. For D, we actually have -5 with -5, and that's our D right there. All right? For F, we have -2 with -3, and for R, we're looking at -4 with 1. You notice when I'm naming my coordinates, I'm naming the x values first. So I follow that vertical line, those are x values, and then I look to see where the horizontal lines, which are my y values, would have meet, right? Wherever they meet, that's the point. So let us now operate on it. So what we're doing is, we are actually gonna switch x and y and change the y value. You ready for it? So let's look at F. F is actually -2, -3. So that means when I switch this, I'm gonna have +3 with -2. Because the -3 will go to the front, it's gonna switch, so it's gonna be +3, -2 right here, and this is gonna be my F prime. So this is +3 but -2 right there. Take a look, -2, -3. I'm going to switch them, but the y1 changed to +3, still -2. So that's 1, right? Now let's take a look at D. For D, we have -5, -5. Because the numbers are the same, we're just going to have a +5 with -5. Because the one that comes to the front should switch. The sign will switch, so it's going to be +5 with a -5, and this is actually my D prime right there. So again, -5, -5 becomes +5, -5. Let's take a look at W. W is -6, -3. -6, -3. +3, thank you very much. +3, -6. And that's my W right here. +3, -6, I'm going to write it. +3, -6, Pablo. All right, so for the last one now, which is what? R. Anybody want to tell me what R is going to be? So we have -4, 1. What are we going to have now?
Is it going to be
-1, yeah? -1.
-4.
Thank you very much. So -1, -4. Excellent, Winbush. So right there, so we have -1, -4, and this is going to be our R prime right here. So what we're going to do now is just let's reshape it. Let's put it in purple. Follow me, reshape this. You connect these. Let me get a bigger marker. Let me go a little bit bigger right there. So we want to connect this, that. Take a look. See what happened? So now, we just manipulated the coordinates. We switch x and y, we change the y value, right? Now, anybody want to tell me what transformation this seems like to you? Look at this. This is my pre-image. This is now my image. What transformation comes to your mind?
Rotation.
Thank you. A rotation. So when we speak of a rotation, then we need to talk about an angle, right? What angle of rotation we're talking here? What do you think? It's next door. So whenever we're next door, what angle we normally use? You're next door to it. Next door is 90. And then what direction? We're here and we come here. What direction is this? Counterclockwise. And all our rotations are about center for this. So that's what, so this is basically a rotation about the origin right here, 90 degrees counterclockwise. So to do that, all you have to do is to exchange x and y and change the y value. And if you do that, you get that rotation. All right. So we just moved from here to here. So now we're going to move this to somewhere else. All right? So they want us now to keep our x but change the value of the y. Take a look. So f is 3, -2. We're going to keep the 3, but this -2 becomes +2. So now it's going to be 3, 2 right here. So we're at 3, 2. So it's right here. So it's 3 meets 2. And this becomes f prime prime. Everybody can see that? We're keeping the x value but change the sign on the y, right? All right, now let's go to the other one. Let's go to r prime here, and this was -1, -4. -1, -4. We're gonna keep the x, it's still gonna be -1, but now it's gonna be what now? +4 up here. So this is my r prime prime. Very good. All right, so how many that we did? We did 2. Let's go to w prime here. This is 3, -6. Positive. Very good. You're saying +3, +6. All right, we agree with that. +3, +6 is right here, and this is going to be w prime prime. Right. Last one now. Which one is it? D. D is 5, -5. We're keeping the x.
5, +5.
Thank you. 5, +5. Yes, Pablo, you're doing it right there. So all we're going to do now is to reshape it. Let us reshape it and then see what it looks like. Let me use a different color. All right, so we're going to reshape this, and this is what we have. Take a look. Boom. Take a look. So you could see that this last one that we did is a reflection of the purple. So the green is a reflection of the purple, and look at our reflecting line. This is the line of reflection right there. So it reflected across the x-axis. Can we see that? So in other words then, if I want to reflect across the x-axis, all I have to do is to keep my x value and change the sign of the y value. That's all. No switching. So that is why we're saying using the algebra, I never had to count. Remember last week we were counting? This week we don't need to count. If we understand what we're doing, we can manipulate the coordinates and we're there. So that's number 2. We there? All right. Let us go to our third one now. Let's go to the third one.